Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Hello, and welcome back to Star Wars Geek Girl. As usual, I'm here with Lizzie.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 3, or Part 3, as it's called, on Disney+.
Yes. The other two were very, very good.
Yes.
I will say.
Yeah. I went over all the celebration news and the first episodes with Axel last week, but if you have any thoughts you would like to share into the internet about them, any of it, just
I was not there, but I received an amazing gift. It was a frog lady, and I like you asked for my address, and I was like, what is she sending? And then like I got it a few days ago, but also I was in quarantine, so I was like, it's there, I can't grab it. I was really sad. I was like, what is it? And then I recently got out and I grabbed it, and it was very, very taped very well. So I got it open and I was like, oh my
That was my dad. I closed the box and he's like, it's not good enough. Tape. He does that every time.
Yeah, and it's so cute. I love it a lot. It is on my bed and it is staring at me, but it is very cute and I love it very much. And I think they should make a frog man.
Yes.
Is that his like official name?
I think so.
Or is
I think their official names are Frog Lady and Frogman.
Gotcha.
You know, in a series where you can point at almost any random background character and say their name, these characters are Frog Lady and Frogman.
Yeah, and I think that their like hands should have like little magnets so that way they can like hold hands.
That was so cute. Yeah, they had good plushies. I got a black chrysanthemum plushie because it reminded me of Freddy. He just has a smush. His face is smush and he's black, but he has like the gray little beardy thing. He looks like Freddy. And he has dreads too. So he's like also your dad.
Yes.
And he's a mix of Freddy and your dad.
Cute. Yeah, I did do a podcast with my familia about the first 2 episodes. It definitely went. It was a very good episode. I don't know if it's out yet.
They just posted their episode. I haven't. Oh, one about the first 3 episodes? Because I know you guys have posted one about the first 3.
Okay, yes.
I haven't listened to it yet.
You are in for a treat.
Yeah, I didn't want to listen to it until we talked about the 3rd episode. I was like, I don't want to be swayed, you know.
I want to be spoiled.
Well, not spoiled. Like, I don't want to be influenced. I want to have my own reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It was a very good podcast, and my dad had a lot of fun. I will just say that. That is all.
I did see the tagline was 3 episodes of Kenobi over 2 bottles of wine or something like that. I was like, oh, that's gotta be good.
Yeah.
I was gonna listen to it on my way to work this morning, and I didn't. I forgot.
It was an experience. Yes, that is all. I also don't want to say anything because I haven't listened to it, so I don't know what I can say.
What was included and what was cut.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it. It was very good. I had a little heart-to-heart with my dad about Leia and Bail, so that was cool. Because Leia and Bail are very cool. And Vader sucks. But anyway.
He's stinky.
Yeah, he's stinky. Yeah. So the 3rd episode.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What were your not
spoiler-free thoughts?
Yes.
I watched it and I was just like I woke up. I never worked that day, but my dad did. So we woke up early to watch it before we went to work. And I just like we watched it. We got up at like 5. So we watch it and then he goes to like get ready for work and stuff. And I was just sitting on the couch processing. And then I watched it again that night and I just sat and processed it again. I think that I will say that was the first, I think, episode of something Star Wars, not a movie, but an episode to just like hit me and like that impact stayed. Like I was just like I think that was the biggest impact that something has had on me since Jedi Knight, because I was just like the next few days was just like, wow, that was crazy, you know.
Interesting.
I loved it. It was really great. Episode 3. I try not to talk about episode 4 because you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I loved it. That was nuts. So good.
Interesting. I'm kind of excited to hear about what you have to say there, because not that it was underwhelming or anything, because the whole episode was really, really good, but I didn't feel like that. So I'm like confused. What happened? So let us jump right into it.
All right. Yeah. No, that episode hit me like a train.
Okay. Interesting.
That was, yeah. Wow. All right. Spoiler time now. If you haven't seen Kenobi episode 3, you're safe if you haven't seen episode 4, because we will not be talking about that. But episode 3, if you have not seen it, go watch it and then come back and listen to this. Or listen to this first. I can't tell you what to do. Just some girl on the internet. Okay. Episode
a
3.
Geek girl.
A geek girl on the internet. Yes. Let me pull up the Wikipedia summary. My trusted friend. Wikipedia has gotten me through so many podcasts over the years. Can I say that? Anytime there's an episode of something, I pretty much every time I pull up the Wikipedia during the episode and look through it to make sure I don't miss anything. And if I don't have Wikipedia up, I made notes from Wikipedia. Just for the record, thank you to everyone who puts in time for no money or anything for Wikipedia. I appreciate you very much. That's all.
Thank you for your services.
Thank you for your service. You do us all a great service. Okay. So episode 3. So it starts with Vader, being assembled. And he walks out and he's got like the cape flowing and it's like, Vader will never get old to me. I don't know if everyone feels this way. I think a lot of people do agree with me here, but I'll just say it. Anytime Darth Vader does anything, I'm like, oh my God, it's Darth Vader. Like every time, every single time. I've seen Rogue One a bunch of times and every time Vader's there, I'm like, whoa, it's Darth Vader. Every time. He never gets old. He's peak.
I am the opposite.
Really?
I am so sick of Vader.
Man, it's like the cape and the helmet and then the breathe. It's just the effect that he has, the aura that he has, just every single time. Like I almost peed myself when he turned up in Jedi Fallen Order. I was just like, whoa, I'm gonna die.
Wow. Yeah, I see it. I hear you. I think I'm just very, very tired of Vader because I hate Anakin. I do not like Anakin at all. So therefore, I don't like Anakin squared. But like, it is really cool. Like it is cool to see him. Like, I did think it was kind of cool to see, like, him being put together. But also, I've I also thought it was funny because I was like, I've seen that happen, but like in a less cool way because I'm in charity groups that do costuming.
That's not what it looks like when my friend puts it on. His has more Velcro.
Yeah. So I was like, first of all, hilarious. But I also like literally I was watching it and he was just being put together and I was like, bold of Disney to assume that I care. Please just give me Obi-Wan.
I was like, Vader, and it's anything Vader. They got me.
I think he is used too much, but also it's Star Wars and they're always gonna follow the.
I don't know if he's used too much.
He's in practically everything.
He's in Rebels.
Yes.
The game about him, obviously. Rogue One, Jedi Fallen Order. That's
yes.
it. What else?
All the comics imaginable.
Well, he's in the Vader comics and the Afro comics. I don't know what other comics he's in. I don't know comics. I don't know.
Vader's I think my dad could say how many comics he's in. But he is used too much, in my opinion, but that's because I don't like him. So if I see a singular comic with him in it, I'm like, wow, they use him way too much.
I love it.
I will say I did think it was cool in Rogue One though. I will agree with you on that because he's just really dramatic and he literally turned off his little box just to be dramatic.
Of course.
His little box.
His box. Yeah, anyway, they put Vader together and he talks to Reva. And I'm loving Reva still. And he's like, if you get Kenobi, you could become the new Grand Inquisitor. Because they're acting like he's dead.
I don't know what they're trying to do with that.
I assume like my prediction is that like they'll be all fighting. Like, I'm Grand Inquisitor. No, I'm Grand Inquisitor. And then the Grand Inquisitor walks in. And he's like, no, I'm Grand Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm alive. I think it's going to be one of those kind of things. It's going to go exactly like that, too. They're going to be squabbling exactly like that. They're going to do this like slappy thing that kids do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. You're the film person. I trust you.
I just know. So yeah.
Oh, like insider information.
Inside information, yeah. From Ajax Citizen himself, who will also have a great big role, but I'm not gonna tell you what. It's a top secret information.
Okay, gotcha.
So while that's happening, Obi-Wan is sitting in that shuttle that's going to that planet, and he's like,
he has trauma.
He's reeling, and he's like trying to meditate, but like he's, yeah, crazy. So they get to this planet, and they try to go to this place where they're supposed to meet up with some people. And while they're walking there, Obi-Wan has a vision or a hallucination or something of Anakin like wrapped up in his little cloak. I don't know what it was. I know there's a lot of theories about, like, someone said like, oh, it's Vader like force projecting to Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that. That'd be cool. I don't know if it's like a straight up hallucination, like this man needs to drink some water, or if it's like a weird force vision, or I don't know. What do you think?
I think he just has trauma and PTSD from wars. So maybe it's like a force vision / maybe something he's like extremely scared of. I don't know. He just seems really, really terrified of Anakin / Darth Vader, because he thinks like he like failed him and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
Everyone's like being jerky to Obi-Wan about it.
Yeah, he has a lot of regret and stuff, clearly, and it's haunting him.
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, they send out probe droids from the Inquisitor fortress from Jedi Fallen Order, which it was cool to see that again, because like sometimes I feel like I'll see something like that in like a show or whatever. I'll be like, oh, that's cool, but like I'm probably not gonna see it again. They're not gonna, unfortunately, not gonna bring that back. And they're like, hey, remember the thing from Jedi Fallen Order? Here it is. I just like it when they do that. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they are going out looking for Obi-Wan. Meanwhile, they don't see the person that's supposed to meet them. So they see it like a truck driving by, essentially. And they're like, oh, help us. And there's this little like mole rat guy who's like, oh, I can drive you to the spaceport.
And he seems really nice, and Leia's like,
I like his alien. He's like a little mole rat. He's really cute. Oh, it's a shame he's like a
jerk.
They like see a little Imperial flag on the back of his truck, and it's like, oh no. Yeah, and then he's like, great to have some order back in the galaxy, right? And it's like, oh my god, I know this guy in real life. I know a couple of them. I'm not gonna say that. And so they're like, because they're trying to stay, and they use fake names and stuff, and they say they're farmers. And Obi-Wan's like, sure, yeah, go Empire, because he's not gonna argue with this guy, right? And so like some stormtroopers take a ride on the way, and they're riding, and they're like asking questions, and they're like, oh, like, where are you from? And they're like getting very like, they're like really interrogating them.
Yeah.
And because they're looking for a Jedi. And Obi-Wan tells a story about how like they're trying to, he was like taking, or Leia was one that said like, oh, he's taking me to where he met my mother. They're pretending to be father and daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Obi-Wan's like, yeah, she's not with us anymore. And like they're doing this whole story. It's really sad because he's like, but he calls her Leia by accident when that was not. She was going by Luma, and the stormtrooper is like, "Well, I thought you said her name was Luma." And then Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, that Leia was her mother's name. I call her that by accident." It's so sweet. It's such
it was a good like cover up, and also was sad and sweet and cry.
Yeah, he looks away, and he's like, sometimes when I see her, I look at her, I just see her mother's face, and he's like clearly actually talking about Padme there. And it's like, and then the stormtroopers leave, and Leia's like, oh, do you know like my biological mother? And she asks her like, are you my father? And Obi-Wan's like, no, but I wish I was. And I was like,
I don't know why Padme went for Anakin when literally Obi-Wan was right there.
I don't think that's what he meant.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I don't think that's
what missed out.
Okay.
But it's okay. Satine is cool too.
Okay. Oh man. Yeah, well, yeah, but Obi-Wan, because he says like, oh, I wish I could say that I was, because her biological father is a poo-poo head, and
yes.
And then he's talking about like how he has vague memories from before he was taken to the temple. Like he said his parents, and he thinks he had a brother, a younger brother, presumably, because he said it was a baby. But then he was like, but then I went to the Jedi and had a new family, which I think is really sweet, because I think I like to think of the Jedi Order as like a family in a way, and I think and I always like when they kind of acknowledge that like it really is a family, like they're raised together, and it's just like a cute thing. I don't know. Not everyone likes the
Star
Jedi,
Wars. Star Wars' whole thing is family that's not by blood, and I think it's really, really cool. I talk about it a lot because that's like my thing, but I just think it's really cool, and they kind of just keep continuing that. And I wonder if like later on we're gonna see something about his family. I don't know, because they like mention it here, unless they're gonna mention it and it's just gonna be gone forever. I don't know.
It
But
could.
so I think it's cool that he's like, yeah, I had family, but also I have cool family. So like, it's fine. So I don't know. I think it is still very cool.
Yeah, I think and I think it's almost like I could honestly I could see it not coming up again just because it could almost be like I feel like that was my birth family, sure, but like the Jedi who I was raised with, and that's who I identify with, like that's my family. No matter where I was born, which I think is cool. They continue on their little journey. They stop at a checkpoint, and stupid little mole rat guy is like, I thought you might want to check these guys out. And you're like, stupid. His name was Freck. Stupid Freck.
Yeah, he was. He looked nice, and he was a jerk.
He's a little cute little mole rat guy, Yeah. So the stormtroopers are like make him face one of the probe droids, and the probe droid scans him and is like, that's Obi-Wan. But Obi-Wan shoots it in the droid eyeball, and then he kills the stormtroopers. One of them falls through the laser things. Like they have like a little laser gate thing, that they always have.
Yeah, sliced him in half.
Yeah.
And that dealt a lot of damage.
That like gave me a whole new, because like they use those little laser gates in like everything all the time. Like there's always a little laser door, and like sometimes it's the ones that like they bang on and it's fine, it just goes like and like bubbles out. But like when they have those like actual laser ones, I was like, oh yeah, laser gate, whatever. But I respect it now.
Now it's horrifying.
That's a real gate.
That'll definitely keep things out.
Yeah. I new outlook on those laser gates, dear God. Yeah. So he gets all the stormtroopers. He doesn't actually kill Freck. He hits him on the head.
Could have killed him. Just saying.
He could have killed him, but he didn't shoot him like he did the stormtroopers.
Yeah. Those guys are dead.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Freck will come back for revenge. Maybe that cut in half stormtrooper will come back with some spider legs to get revenge on Kenobi
with Freck.
That would be fresh news story.
Yeah.
Interesting take. So he blasts the little controls for that gate thing to go through, and they're running, and then a whole other little transport of stormtroopers comes up, and he's like, oh no. And then there's an officer that goes behind them, and she shoots them all, and she's like, come with me.
Yeah. She was a really cool character, because like
Tala is her name.
Yeah, I liked her a lot, even though I didn't trust her at first. I did not trust her at all, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to trust this person, but I do not right now.
I immediately was like, oh yeah, cool lady undercover. All right, I'm in. Yeah. Tala, she's great. And she's like, come on. And they like sneak into this little workshop, and there's a little loader droid named oh shoot, I wrote it down because I love him. Ned B. He can't talk or beep.
Yeah, that was really sad.
They don't give them whatever the voice parts for droids are. But he communicates through his actions, and he is my whole world. And if anything happens to him, I will burn everything down. I love him. so much. Yeah. That's all I gotta say about that.
He's like, he is so kind. He's so
He's
sweet.
just so sweet. And he was gonna brain the stormtroopers when they were like gonna find the base. He was like ready to just hit them. It was great.
Yeah. I like the tension that they somehow were able to make with this droid that doesn't say anything, can't move his like can't have expressions, but like there was so much tension and it was so like it was good. Very good.
Yeah, it was great. But that's it. Oh, also earlier I forgot to mention, Obi-Wan fixed Lola. She was destroyed in episode 2, and he fixed her for Leia. It was really cute, especially because in episode 2, she was like, Lola's broken, she can't make noise, and he's like, good. And then he fixed her for it. Which is just cute. But Lola flies up to Ned B to say hi, but Ned B can't talk. But it's okay. He's a baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a giant baby.
He's just so big. I love him. So they go into like this little workshop thing, and then there's like a secret door to go in, and it's like secret thing. And she's like, oh yeah, we have a thing called the Path. I don't know if that's been in other Star Wars things or not, and in comics or anything. I was not familiar with it. I can't say if it wasn't in anything else or not, or if it's new to this series. But she's like, yeah, we have this thing called the Path, and like we take it to get Jedi to safety and away from the Inquisitors and stuff. And then Obi-Wan walks up to the wall and was reading everything, and he goes, Quinlan was here. And I
okay.
Like, oh my god, how sad. I didn't want to text your dad, but I texted Axel. I was like, have you guys seen Obi-Wan yet? He goes, no. And I was like, okay, let me know when you do.
Yeah, I got a call from my mom because I was in quarantine, and she was calling me every day. But today, or not today, but like that day, she was like, hey, have you watched Obi-Wan? And I was like, Mom, you never talked to me about Star Wars. What is happening? And she was like, well, something happened, so you should watch it. And I was like, okay. So I just like, I hung up and I started watching it. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I was there with my dad.
I would do anything for a video of your dad's reaction of that.
Well,
I know it doesn't exist. I'm sure they didn't film him watching it.
You will hear it.
I'm very
podcast.
Excited. I'm very excited. But just like that moment when it first happens, that raw reaction, I would do anything to see that. Like, yeah.
It was definitely a lot of yelling.
I believe it.
And like not
I sat straight up. I was like, boss. So I cannot imagine what your dad was doing. Yeah. And that was it. That was like the end of that mention at all. But it was a lot. It was great. I didn't get a good look. I don't know if they have a good angle on it. I didn't really look. But I want to know what he wrote. Like, did he just write Voss was here? Like, what did he write that Obi-Wan saw it and was like, Quinlan was here? Like,
I'm guessing it was just Voss was here.
Like, what did he write? This is interesting. It's just funny.
I think someone also saw that like I saw, people are already decoding it and stuff, but I heard that Doom was written on that too. So that's kind of cool. Yes.
I saw For Light and Life was written, someone said. Which is from the High Republic Jedi stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else. I should just go back and read everything.
Yes. I mean, you know Orbesh.
I know how to. I because it was very dark in that scene and stuff. It's dark in all the scenes. But yeah.
No excuses. You gotta go do it.
I know I gotta go do it. Yeah. I'll fit it into my work schedule. Yeah, so they're like, gonna go through their little like tunnel, and Obi-Wan suddenly like senses a disturbance in the force. And then they go outside, and this is when I started like really like, this is when the train started to hit me. There's Vader and the Inquisitors, and they're going down the street, and Vader's just like he just takes a random person, starts force choking him, and the guy's kid runs out and he snaps his neck with the force, and he's just like dragging people through the street and choking them, just like all these different people to draw Obi-Wan out, like the Inquisitors were talking about in the first episode. But he's just like killing people, just going down the street.
It was so unnecessary.
It was terrifying, and I loved it. It was so
interesting.
Oh my god. I don't know. I love Vader so much.
I have the complete opposite feeling.
I was just like, whoa, like it was like a very similar feeling to Rogue One. I would say visually the Rogue One was a little more because you have the like darkness and the, but like just the like, oh my god, this is so brutal. That was okay. Also, by the way, someone on Twitter or something was like, Vader wasn't brutal enough in this episode. What did you want him to do? Like, he killed a kid.
Yeah.
In front of his parents, maybe just his mom. I'm not sure if the dad died or not. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what more could he have done? He walked through the street just like killing people, man. Just like random people, didn't do anything. Like,
I was talking about it with my fam, and I was like, I don't understand how people can watch that, not like the audience, but like just the the Empire, like employees in general, watch it and be like, yeah, I like that, that's cool, that's amazing, yeah, I'd follow that, yeah, makes sense. Like it's so,
I mean, I do think it's a mix of fear and like they're just so deep into the propaganda that like they justify or like deny instead of actually seeing what's in front of them, We can connect that to real life.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Well, we won't, but we won't. Yeah, that scene, I was like, whoa, this show is going so hard. And so Obi-Wan asks Tala to take Leia, make sure she gets to Alderaan, and he's gonna drop Vader. Because like, Obi-Wan can sense Vader can sense Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's like, if it's more important that Leia gets out, like she's more important than just me. So Obi-Wan runs away and Vader follows. And then, oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Obi-Wan's running and running, and then Vader's there, and he turns on his lightsaber, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then Vader, Obi-Wan, they have like, it's like not even really, it's hard to call it a lightsaber fight because Obi-Wan is just like trying to get away and just block, and Vader's like wailing on him almost like Luke did in Return of the Jedi, just like brute, like none of the flourishes we're used to, like nothing like Revenge of the Sith, just Obi-Wan being very out of practice, just trying to not die, and Vader just using more like a brute strength, almost like just pushing at him, just like hitting him rather than like the normal lightsaber fights we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good amount of Vader's like attacks anyways, like not really technique, it's just like wham wham wham. But this was like more wham.
This was very angry. And it's interesting because, this is where I analyze him as a character, but like so often, like we see like in the Thrawn novels and like in Rebels, Vader so tries to distance himself from Anakin Skywalker, and he's like, Anakin is dead. Like that life is not mine. Like, this is who I am now. Like, that's nothing. The past, like, I don't care about the past. It's all gone. It doesn't matter. And yet he's still Anakin. He's still passionate. Which Anakin, when he was good, mostly manifested as love, and now is manifesting as hate. And that passion turns to anger against these specific people. Like, we see like how he treats Ahsoka is very Anakin, even if he tries to deny it, and we definitely see it here with a very focused rage that he doesn't have towards other characters. It's interesting. And it's so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love this episode. And Obi-Wan's like, what have you become? Because this was his first time seeing him, really, was this episode. He knew he survived somehow. I wonder what Anakin or what Obi-Wan was picturing, because last Obi-Wan saw Anakin. Yeah. And so he sees this in front of him and he's like, what have you become? And Vader's like, I am what you made me. And it's like, whoa. And then like, okay, here, I'll go to Wikipedia. Leia is like, Tal, you gotta go back and help Obi-Wan. He's gonna die. I can make the rest of the way on my own. So Tal's like, fine, okay, just keep going until you see the pilot.
I don't know why she trusted. Well, she, not that like Leia herself did anything wrong, but like, why would she just leave a child?
She's 10. Like, she's 10.
She is 10 years old, and lots of people are after her.
It reminds me of a story your dad told at the podcast stage at Celebration, where he said, and I'm sure you know the story, but he said, you would tell me tonight, but he says like, oh, like Axel wanted to go hang out with Amanda's, and he was like, okay, do you know where it is? And Axel said, yeah, and he went and he got lost, and we couldn't find it, or you guys couldn't find him, and then he was like, and they found him, and he was like, Axel, you said you knew where it is, and Axel goes, I'm little, why do you listen to me? And that's what this was.
Yeah.
Leia's like, I can do it, and then she doesn't do it, and then they're like, Leia, and she's like, well, I'm 10. Why'd you listen to me?
I'm literally 10.
I'm little. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so they get to this little like storage container area kind of thing, and there's like, I don't know if this is like oil or something. This is flammable rocks here on Wikipedia. So the flammable rocks, he knocks them down, and it's like it was so cool. He like holds Obi-Wan up with the Force, knocks his lightsaber out of his hand, and he's like, you will feel my pain. And he takes his lightsaber and he touches it to the flammable rocks, and they all light on fire, and he like uses the Force and like brings Obi-Wan down and like drags him through the fire and is like burning him. And I was like, what? And then like there's like stormtroopers get him, but Tala starts like shooting stormtroopers because she's awesome. And Ned B, the little hero of the whole
little man, well, big man,
he comes and he scoops up Obi-Wan, and who's very burned up, and not as much as Anakin.
Yeah.
But they take him and they save the day, and everything's great except for Leia goes and she is like, oh, are you the pilot? And the third sister's like, yeah, come with me. So that like sucked. But there was Obi-Wan and Vader. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot, like it was really, really good, and I was like, but Vader just frustrates me so bad. I'm like, how dare you do that to my Obi-Wan? How dare you?
Cool though. It was so cool. This is my problem. I'm like, man, they're really evil. It's like a bad thing they're doing, but they look super cool. So who's to say? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love Vader. I think he's like the best villain ever. And I always like seeing him personally. That's just my opinion. But I love him
Your
to death.
opinion.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that was an awesome Star Wars. Now I'm thinking about it again. It's so good. It like, wow, it floored me. It really did. Yeah, I would say Jedi Knight had a bigger impact for sure. For several reasons. But this one I was the first one in a while where I was like, wow. Just wow. For that long, yeah. Wow. That was so good. Yeah.
Yeah. It was what's the thing? Jaw dropping?
Yes.
Yes.
It definitely dropped my jaw a few times. I think the first time was that stormtrooper that got cut in half. Because they like,
yeah, that was intense.
well, and they like showed it, you know? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, usually like when they cut off someone's arm or something, like even Maul in Phantom Menace, like you hear the lights, like you see them swinging the lightsaber, and then you like hear it, and then you get like the reaction shot, but you don't see the like actual cut. Like you might like Maul, we saw like the two halves of him like falling down the pit, but you didn't see the actual like that's a burned, charred half of a body there.
Yeah.
So this was like we saw it all. Like there was an overhead shot specifically to show this random stormtrooper get cut in half. Like that was rough.
There was a lot of just rough things that happened in this episode that it just kind of compiled up, him getting chopped, children getting their necks snapped.
Just the one child. Come on now.
It's still a child.
It's still a child, yeah.
Everyone else died too.
Yeah, there's a lot of death. I will say one thing it made me think of that scene. There's a story in the book. I think it's Myths and Legends. It might be in Dark Legends, which was the like dark companion book to Myths and Legends, or Myths and Fables, I think. Myths and Fables. But I think that one was in Myths and Fables. It's called The Dark Wraith. And it's like clearly about Vader, but it tells the story of this dark figure. It's like a folk tale telling of like how people would talk about Vader in the universe. Who like goes through towns just destroying them. And that's what it made me think of, like Vader just walking through, just like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And he like set stuff on fire.
Yeah. Very angry.
Very, yeah. But it was, yeah, what a great episode. Yeah, I've seen episode 4. You haven't, so I don't say anything about that. But I'm excited to see where they take the rest of the story through the next couple episodes until the finale.
Yes. I hope there is Voss. I hope we see Voss and Obi-Wan together again.
I would love to see Voss in this series. This is now the second time they've done a Voss name drop for post Order 66 stuff. He also showed up in Brotherhood, but that's before Order 66. So I feel like we're gonna get Voss at some point, right? I mean, that's 2 times now they mentioned they wanted us to know Voss was alive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sounds like, maybe he'll be in the Bad Batch. Because Gunji's in the Bad Batch. Maybe Gunji goes down the path and the Bad Batch helps. Oh my gosh.
You're spoiling everything.
I'm sorry. I'm just so smart. Yeah. I want to get Conan Voss mostly because I think your dad would
die.
I don't want him
like
to die.
He'll like die and then come back, so it'll be fine.
I'm trying to think of something to say because I'm like, what do I say when I'm excited? But the things I say about myself when I get excited are like weird to say about another person. So I can't think of one right now. But yeah, your dad would freak out, and that would just make me very happy for him. But also like Voss he is cool. Like he's a cool dude. I like Dark Disciple. I like the one episode of Clone Wars he's in.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. I like him. We can see him be sad about Ayla. It's always fun to see characters be sad about stuff. That fuels me. That feeds
Asajj.
Asajj. Oh yeah. Yeah. I forgot. I always forget she's dead. It's a shame. Real shame.
You know who else is dead?
Darth Vader.
Kanan.
See, now why do you have to go there? What did I do? Besides stand Darth Vader. That makes me deserve this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 3. Holy crap.
Would you say, so spoiler-free thoughts, but would you say episode 4 is like even more like a, or like slightly less, but like still good?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think spoiler free. I would say less. I would say episode 4 was less of a like episode 3, where episode 3 is like this is stuff going down, like this is what's happening. And episode 4 was still very good, and there was still some exciting things and things to point out and be like, whoa, like that's cool, or like wow. But more of a sort of how I feel like maybe episode 1 or 2 was a bit of a like we need to like get from point A to point B so that these things can happen in episode 3. And like maybe episode 2 is more like that, like we need these things to happen to move us along to get to these big moments. I think episode 4 was a little bit more of that. Like there's still some cool stuff happening, and stuff to be excited about and stuff to be like to talk about. But also more of a like bunch of big stuff just happened. We need to get to the next place for big stuff to happen. And like, and also like give us a break, I guess. Cause like I don't think I could have handled another episode 3. But still, don't get me wrong. I know like a lot of people are calling it like a filler episode. I would not call it a filler episode at all. It definitely moves the plot along at a good pace and like is very, I think, is important to what's going on. But it is maybe less of a, as I said, a train hitting you for me at least. Other people may take it differently.
A lot of people take a lot of things differently.
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked episode 4. Not as much a train hitting me. I would say maybe like a smart car hitting me. Still hit me, but it doesn't have the full impact of a train.
Yeah. But like it can't go like too fast because it's a smart car.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I know cars. Yeah. My car.
Yes. You don't. Actually.
I did once. Did not go well.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely watch episode 4. It's great. There was no, I won't say that. Just watch it.
I'll probably watch it tonight, but we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, episode 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh wait, I'm choking on my excitedness. Yes, it was very good. I'm very worried about Leia, and I hope we have Leia safe and sound soon. say yes.
I will say nothing.
Okay.
As I said last week, I adore little Leia. She is so perfectly capturing a young Leia, a young like Carrie Fisher performance. And man, I just reread Bloodline. There's a review of it on SourceGreekGirl.com. And there's a lot, if you've read that book, there's a lot of talk about Bail Organa and Alderaan and how they're dead by the time that book goes around.
Maybe.
And reading it after seeing young Leia and Bail interact on screen, yeah, that hurt. It's a great book, by the way. Bloodline, would highly recommend. It makes me want to watch Return of the Jedi again, and also makes me want to watch the sequel trilogy again whenever I read it. So, great book. Important stuff goes down in there, actually, as far as like explaining the sequel trilogy a little bit. It's good. Anyway, that's not gonna be yeah,
it's a little bit
tangentially related. But yeah, I'm excited I like Tala a lot. I love Reva. I think she's so cool. I don't think her prospects are good for surviving the series.
prospects.
I like her chances.
Oh.
It doesn't look good for her. Just I hope she does. She's cool. I want her to succeed. Not succeed in her specific goals right now, just succeed generally at life. I don't want her to succeed at her goal of capturing Obi-Wan and bringing him to Vader.
Yeah, I don't think I want that either.
But I am rooting for her. Not in that, just generally. You go, girl. Just go a different way.
Yeah. Get him, but don't get him, girl boss.
Yeah. Girl boss, like, over there.
Girl boss in a different direction.
Yeah.
Wow, Queen, you're really
if she can just make like
don't.
a really if she can just make a really hard like left turn, maybe a U-turn.
Possibly a U-turn.
We'll see. I don't need her to like redeem herself and like go follow the Jedi path or whatever. Like she can still even be an Inquisitor. I just want her to chill.
Take a chill.
I like her. I think Moses Ingram is doing such a fantastic job playing her. I very much love the it's hard now because like first episode she like cut off that lady's hand, you're like, wow, she's brutal. And then you see Vader and you're like, she's all right.
Yeah.
She's doing fine. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I have to say. I could sit here and go wow for like 3 more hours, but I would like to go to bed.
Me too. We are working.
We are working quite a bit. Yeah, I will listen to your, now that we've done our podcast, I will listen to your family's podcast on my way to work. I think that podcast,
prepare yourself.
I looked at it. I think the length of that podcast is like 2 days worth of to and from work for me. Because my commute's not that long. But
you got this. Just do 2 times speed. It'll be even funnier that way.
I can't listen to that. I gotta drive, man. I gotta focus. I can't listen to something at 2 times speed.
My dad does it all of the time. It's really funny because then if he's playing like Steel Wars and I'm hearing Steel like 2 times speed all the time, and then I meet him in real life and I'm like, wow,
why do you talk so slow? That's funny. Um
But yeah.
I wonder if that's how Axel feels about me.
Maybe. You should ask him sometime. But also
I
Axel
don't know if
doesn't pay
I
attention.
don't know if I do know the answer to that question. I feel like I already talked too fast. I have the time. Okay, well, bedtime. Thank you as always for listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. Please look at our Facebook page, which is Star Wars Geek Girl, Twitter and Instagram at SW Geek Girl, and StarWarsGeekGirl.com. There's a poll every month. Book reviews on Mondays, quizzes on Wednesdays, and blog articles on Fridays. I'm working a lot, like a lot. I don't know how consistent I'm gonna be. If I am consistent, things will be posted either at like 6 a.m. or like 10 p.m. For the summer, just so you know. Just that's my disclaimer for the next like until August, until like late August. That's my life. Don't turn the notes to Comic Sans, Lizzie. We're almost okay. Okay.
So for the Rogue Rebels, the Rogue Rebels in Comic Sans, got the roguerebels.com. Instagram and TikTok is at the Rogue Rebels. Twitch at Rogue Rebels Podcast, wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. Facebook page, the Rogue Rebels. Twitter at Rogue Rebels. Rogue Rebels fam. I suggest you listen to the recent podcast that we made because my dad probably heavily edited it, so you should go and see it.
Where's the unedited cut? That's what I want to listen to.
It's a lot of like, are you sure we should keep going? Yeah, okay.
It's like 2 hours long, the final cut. How long do you guys take to record?
So I was podcasting with them from 10 to 1 in the morning. So 3 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's like a whole hour. Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is when I have Axel go on your dad's computer and send me. Just kidding, Sal. I would never ask your son to do that to you. Please don't ban me from your family.
If he was safe, he probably deleted it.
No, I know.
From existence.
Interesting. Well, I'm very excited to listen to that. That'll be my entertainment for the next 4 trips to and from work for me. For like 2 per day. I don't know how to speak. I'm excited. Yeah. So thank you again for listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. As always, go check out all of our things. Go check out all of the Rogue Rebels things. Check out our friends things. We have friends. Look at those. Look at their stuff. Look at everyone's stuff. Star Wars is about community. Yeah. Thank you so much. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzie.
May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yay. How do I stop record? There we go.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.